Good evening everyone, welcome back to my channel, True Crime with Jess Rose. Hope you're all okay and keeping safe. Completely lost track of what week it is. I think it's week 7. Going crazy a little bit, but still very safe, and I hope you all are too. Thank you very much for my new subscribers this week, and if you do know anyone who, they're a bit bored during this isolation period or anything, True Crime with Jess Rose, just say, I'll keep them entertained. I'll keep them entertained all day. That sounds a little bit, with my videos, these videos, I'm going to stop talking now, but yeah, True Crime with Jess Rose. Tonight I'd like to talk about a story that I've seen on a show called Crime Watch Daily. Don't know if you've ever one. Really interesting, really interesting. And this is the story of Brandy, Steve and Rosine, who was born in Meadville, I think it's Meadville, Pennsylvania, on the 30th of November 91. Now, Brandy, lovely girl, really lovely girl. Everyone who appears on the shows, just such positive things to say about her. Said she's just a very caring person, give you the shot of a back kind of thing. Just a really loving, nice person. And for the most part, Brandy had really nice friends around her, really nice friends. And, Brandy, as she started getting older, started struggling with her sexuality. And her mum actually says on the show that she knew Brandy was lesbian before Brandy told her. It was completely accepted in her friend group and her family. She really needn't have worried. Like I say, she was just a very, very well-liked, sweet, caring girl. Now, when Brandy was, I think she was 20, and she started seeing a girl called Jade Olmsted. Now, Jade was 18. Now, this would have been in 2011, late 2011. And she met Jade online. Now, Jade had not long finished with her ex-partner, who was called Ashley Barber. And she started talking to Brandy, Jade did, and they hit off and they started seeing each other. Now, a lot of Brandy's friends and her mum just thought Jade was a bit of a user, because although she was quite quiet, it said that her sexuality wasn't accepted at home. So she was quite quiet, quite reserved around people. But what they did start to notice is she was taking a lot from Brandy. Jade didn't want to work. Obviously, she hadn't gone into any further education. She just wanted Brandy to provide for her. Brandy's a 20-year-old young girl. She's at college. She's doing really, really well. And her family and friends just thought Jade was, Brandy's mom just said she wasn't good enough for Brandy. The type of person Brandy was. She was just such a really caring person. And Jade just seemed, like I said, just a bit of a user. Now, everyone else seen this, but Brandy didn't see it until Jade stole from her. She actually stole from Brandy and did a runner. Left. Brandy was really upset, but I think she's seen it then. She's seen it for what it was, and, she was done with Jade. But Brandy's friend said she was still in touch with Jade, even after her stealing from her. She just said she would never get back with her, but she cared about her. So much so that Jade phones up Brandy out the blue and wants her to pick her up. Jade's 300 miles away. That's how she done the running. So she was 300 miles away, and Brandy dropped everything. Dropped everything to go and get her. Now, it was said that it wasn't because Brandy still had feelings for Jade. That was just the type of person she was. She would drop everything for someone she cares about. That's just who she was. But when Jade got back and she came back to Brandy's house, Brandy's mum said it wasn't 2 minutes before Ashley, if you remember, which was Jade's ex, Ashley and her parents come and pick Jade up from Brandy's house. And Jade and Ashley went back to Ashley's parents' house because Jade and Ashley were back together. So she just used Brandy to get her back to Pennsylvania. This is who she was. This is what she was as a person, Jade was. She was just so selfish. You know, phoning up an ex to bring you home so your new partner can come and pick you up. Because your new partner doesn't drive and couldn't get you. It just baffles me. But that's just who Brandy was. She was just a really nice girl. Now, Ashley... whereas Jade was, like I say, she was a user, she was quite quiet, but I don't think she was an aggressive person. Well, no one thought she was an aggressive person, but Ashley was. Ashley was proudly aggressive and violent. She, you know, something she bragged about. And Ashley wasn't happy that not only did Jade go out with someone when they finished, that she was still in touch with that person. You know, she wasn't happy about that. She didn't like that Jade was still in contact with Brandy. And to be honest, with Jade knowing that, I just think, why was you aggravating the situation? You know, Brandy, if she didn't hear from Jade, would have just got on with her life. But Jade kept, you know, it was just awful. Well, on the 17th of May, 2012, Brandy gets up in the morning. She tells her grandmother who she's staying with. She's going to visit a friend, Rhiannon. Now, everyone knew Rhiannon was Brandy's best friend. And that's who she says she's going to see. Now, but instead of going there, she actually drives 80 miles to go and visit Jade. Because Jade had asked her to go round. Brandy felt so uneasy, obviously with the presence of Ashley, because she knows she's going to see Jade at Ashley's parents' house. She sends a message to Rhiannon and it just says, I've got a really uneasy feeling about this. This is where I'm going. So she just felt quite uncomfortable, but given the kind of person she was, she still felt she had to go. But just felt really uneasy about it, enough to message her friends and just say, look, if you don't hear from me, here's where I've gone. Now, Brandy's grandmother is at home and it starts to get dark. And she's starting to get a bit worried. It's not like Brandy, you know, she's got college, etc. You know, it wouldn't be like her not to get in touch or not be home by the time it's getting dark. And as she's looking around, she sees that Brandy's backpack is still at home. Now, Brandy's got diabetes and she has to bring that backpack or have it on her because it's got her insulin in. So her grandmother now is a bit like, something wrong here. She would have planned to come home because she's left her backpack here. You know, she's obviously not staying out. But it goes through the night. Brandy's grandmother's phoning her. There's no answer. Her phone's just ringing out. She's starting to really panic. And she leaves it till the morning. Phones Brandy's mum. See if she's heard from her. Obviously, she hasn't. And so they panic and straight away phone the police. You know, and it starts to get round to Brandy's friend group. She hasn't come home. She hasn't turned up. Now, Rhiannon, she doesn't get in touch with Brandy's mum straight away. She gets in touch with another friend and she says, listen, she did say, maybe she just didn't want to worry Brandy's mum. You know, Brandy was just going to turn up later on that day. And she says, listen, I got this message from Brandy. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. And the friend goes, come on, we'll drive out there. But they do a drive, but they get lost and it gets dark and they end up coming back. And the days start to go by. And no sign of Brandy still. And Rhiannon takes this text message to the police and to Brandy's mum. And of course, straight away, Brandy's mum, she goes there. She goes to Ashley's parents' house, and Jay comes outside, and Brandy's mum, obviously she's talking on the show, and she says, I just says to her, you know why I'm here. And Brandy's like, well, she's not here. She knew straight away why she was there. And she goes, you know, you're lying, where is she? And Brandy and Ashley just swear blind that she might have said she was coming here, but she didn't turn up. So that was this is a first lie. Then the police come round to Ashley's parents' house, and they start doing a search of the area. And what do you know? Behind Ashley's house, kind of hidden in the bushes, is Brandy's car. And the mum says that the car had all been cleaned out. And when she asked the police, you know, what was the state of the car, you know, was there anything there? And they says, no, it was spotless, inside and out. And Brandy's mum straight away was like, well, that's not right. Because in her words, Brandy's car was a pigsty. So it was becoming obvious there's something really not right going on in this situation. So the police talked to Brandy and Ashley again, and they're saying, right, okay, I know I can see her car's here. So yes, she did come here, and we hung out for the afternoon, but she got a message from a girl and left. And the police thought, but she left her car and all her stuff. Yeah. She just left to meet this girl, and we didn't see her again. You know, really daft lies, and the police aren't buying any of this. So the police, like I say, they're not happy with it. They're not buying what's gone on. There's still no sign of this girl, and they bring Jade and Ashley in for questioning. They've had enough of them messing about. So the third story, now remember, the first story, she hadn't been there at all. Second story, she had turned up, but she'd left to go meet some mysterious girl. Third story now. Ashley says her dad, her own dad, he must have done something to her, because we were down in the woods and he wasn't happy we were down there, and he must have done something to her dad. And even the explanation doesn't make sense, but the fact that she's thrown her dad into the mix, just like... But while this questioning's going on and the girls are like just lying through their teeth, you know, not making sense, there's an investigators, there was investigators at a house, right? So there's investigators at Ashley's house, and they're searching the house and they're searching the grounds. Well, just behind Ashley's house, literally a few feet, a woodland starts right at the back of the house. You obviously see her house, you see where it all is. And they notice that there's some sort of fort being made, and then there's some dirt that's been messed with, you know, there's like someone's been digging. So the policeman does say, you know, his stomach dropped, and they start digging where this fresh soil is, and they find Brandy. Obviously everyone's devastated. The police tell Brandy's nan, she tells her mum, obviously all her friends find out. They're all heartbroken on the show. I mean, I'm not too sure when this show was filmed. I don't think it was long ago, which would make it have been like 7-8 years. And as they're talking, it literally could have happened yesterday. Like most of my stories, you know, it's like it brings them back to that same moment. And as they're talking, it pulls you out, because you're like, oh God, you couldn't even imagine it. Well, when it gets back to Jade and Ashley that a body's been found at the back of Ashley's parents' home, Ashley says, I'll tell you the truth if you let me look in Jade's eyes. Whatever that might mean. So the policeman was like, okay, I'll play your game. And he lets them. It doesn't elaborate if they talked or she did just look in her eyes. Whether Jade and Ashley had an agreement that if it went too far, they would have to come clean. I'm not too sure, but he allows this to happen and come back in. Now, you hear the recording of both Jade and Ashley in their police interviews. Now, Jade's very tearful. You know, a lot. It even sounds like fake crying. Like you can't see the interview, you just hear it, and even the sound of it sounds fake. But then you've got Ashley, who doesn't even try to do that. She's very cocky, very matter of fact. And basically, they say they planned it. You planned what? And that's where we go. They invited Brandy over to hang out. Behind all of this, Ashley had never got over Jade had had another relationship. Didn't get over that Brandy and Jade were still friends. She couldn't get her head around that. And I don't know whether it's to prove her loyalty or love or whatever else to Ashley, but Jade agrees to invite Brandy over. Now, don't get me wrong, from what people have said about Jade, she's by no means some sort of submissive, I don't believe. But I think Ashley was the driving force. Although you do have some people saying in it, that's just my opinion, because you do have some people saying it was Jade that was the driving force. It was just from how I heard it. And like I say, they invited Brandy over. They didn't mess about. Jade walked down into the woods with her to show them their fort. She should have gone then. An 18 or 20-year-old girl showing you their fort, and you're 20 as well. I'd be a bit like, do you know what, girls? I've got to go. But she walks down the little path to the wood bit. And Ashley says that she heard Jade say babe or bae, which was their code word. And as Ashley came running down the little path towards Brandy and Jade, Jade had already put her arm around Brandy's neck. And Ashley said she just come running in and just started punching her, just giving her a beating. But Brandy fought back. Brandy, you see her, she's not a slight girl. So I dare say she gave as good as she got at that point. But Ashley, when she was talking, she was like, I know I punched her hard because I broke her nose. This is what I mean about childish, because she was 20. I broke her nose. Like it was some... Oh. So she's saying she broke her nose, but she was fighting back. And, Jade was, trying to grab at her. And so Ashley says that she grabbed a rope and put it around Brandy's neck, while Jade had got a shovel and started hitting Brandy over the head with a shovel. So this is going on, and Ashley quite proudly says, the blood was starting to come, but I don't know, so I just grabbed the rope and I started banging her head off a tree stump. Because she was still fighting. Just very matter of fact, it's quite scary to listen to. You had Jade doing a fake crying when he asked how many times did you hit her with a shovel. She's like, I don't know, about 4. But you had the other one, very, very proud of what she's telling the police, very proud of what she did. Then Ashley's continuing to strangle her with this rope. Jade's continuing to hit her with a shovel. And they said she started to quieten down and she was lying in a puddle of her own blood. They've tried to strangle her, and I think they just got bored and they threw her in the ready-made grave that they dug with the shovel that had obviously been there, and they threw her in that. And then Ashley says that they could still see her breathing, still see her moving. So she picks up a boulder. Don't forget now, Brandy's been beaten. She's been hit with a shovel. She's been strangled. She's been thrown in a shallow grave. They're still not happy. Then Ashley picks up a boulder. And this is Ashley's actual words that I heard. I was trying to smash her face in. And I did smash her face in. I mean, just very, very, very cold. I mean, at least Jade tried to fake cry. This girl, just so cold. Then she says that she could still hear her gurgling. So she had a bottle of water and tipped it on Brandy's nose and her mouth, trying to drown her. And then they start putting the dirt in on top of her. Now, when I heard this, I was thinking, please tell me she wasn't alive. Please tell me she wasn't alive. But she was. They buried the poor girl alive. She was alive still. And that was proven by the in the autopsy, because she'd ingested dirt. That's actually what she died of. It wasn't the beating or anything else. It was being buried alive that actually was a cause of death. It was suffocation by ingesting soil. And I just, when I heard that, you know, you'd heard the girls all saying what had happened and what they'd done and everything. And obviously your heart dropped and you're just thinking about this poor... And all you've heard all the way through is just what a lovely, kind, thoughtful, sweet girl she is. She was. And then you hear what they did to her. And all of that's bad enough. But when you hear the autopsy report, to know that she was still alive, just absolutely heartbreaking. And, you know, you see her friends, that you know, the one friend, she's saying she wish she could have done something. You know, it's just left them all absolutely heartbroken. And not only because they, you know, this beautiful person's been taken away, but how she was taken. And for what? To prove some sort of misplaced loyalty to your new partner, with your ex-partner. And the ex-partner, I think she was just a psychopath waiting to happen, that one. You know, I do think Jade kind of maybe got dragged around for the ride a little bit in that. But I've told you what part she played. And then I heard afterwards that during those, I think it was 5 days, when Brandy was missing and before they found out, she was, I'm glad I killed her, I'm proud of it, in a diary. This is Jade, not Ashley, this is Jade. So it does make you think, were a couple of people right, and it was actually Jade that was the driving force behind it. You don't, just both disgusting girls. They're both charged with first-degree murder, obviously. And they both pled guilty. And it didn't get mentioned on the show, but I'm thinking maybe if they could have gone for the death penalty, the girls didn't want to roll the dice on that. So they pled guilty and their sentence was life, no parole. I'm thinking that's a plea deal somewhere, because this, if any of the stories I've heard, especially with the American justice system, was something where the death penalty 100% should have been, you know, gone for in this case. But life, no parole. And they never really gave a motive for it. Like I say, it was just some sort of, I don't know, to prove some love for each other. I don't know. And they do record one bit of them when they were together for a very short amount of time. And all you hear is Ashley say to Dad, I love you. And it's like, do they think there's some sort of Juliet and Juliet? You know, I don't know. I don't know exactly. But no one will, because they'd never give a real motive. And I don't think there was one. It was just so childish. Just considering they're 18 and 20. Come and look at my thoughts. You know, the way they went about everything. It was just no empathy. It was like, oh, I don't know. Very, very, very upsetting. Very upsetting, this one. And what really, like, tugged was when Brandy's mom, at the end, she says, if there's a lesson to be learned from this, is if that you get that feeling, like Brandy did, that she got the feeling enough to message her friend and say, basically, if you don't if you don't hear from me, if you know, or if I go missing, here's where I am. To have that feeling and to enough to message somebody, you know, our mum says, basically, if you get a bad feeling going somewhere, don't go. That's what she says. And it's just so true. But, you know, who'd have thought? But then to send the message to her friend, she must have had a really bad feeling. And she was right to have had that feeling. It's just such a shame. It genuinely is. Because even though she had that feeling, even though she was scared or uneasy enough or unnerved enough to send that message, she still went. Because she was just that person, that kind person who would drop things for you. You know, it's just, I don't think it was some sort of love thing, unrequited love, or, you know, that she was trying to get Jade back. No one's give that impression. No one believes that was anything to do with it. She was just a nice girl. And she just wanted to keep her as a friend. And the fact that they did that, it's just disgusting. It's just such a waste. You know, she was doing so well in college. She had such a bright future ahead of her. And to do it in such an awful way, I just felt I wanted to share it with you. Yeah, just a really, really sad one, as they all are. And I did see that one on this Crime Watch Daily. Another one I saw was the case of, I think it's Jennifer daughter, that I'm going to do for you next time. And it's very, very, very like the Gemma Hayter story. The similarities are uncanny. Look, I mean, really similar. So much so that the Gemma Hayter case only happened months after this one. And Sean Rossington, again, a lovely fella, learning disabilities, happened the same year as Gemma Hayter as well. You know, all in 2010. And, you know, we know the sentencing of the people involved in that. If you haven't seen the stories, I have done them. There's a Gemma Hayter story and the Sean Rossington story. And the next story I'm going to do is Jennifer daughter, I think. Sorry, I think that's enough. And you'll see the reason. I always say the American justice system, I think we need more of that here. But I will tell you that story next time. Thank you so much for joining me again. Please stay safe and look after yourselves. And yeah, if you want to drop a like in or a comment or subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much. Stay safe. Thank you.